So meeting is being recorded because we will want to share it also with some people who join later or who could not join today. As well, it's happening in English because this is collaboration between Latvia and Estonia. So so everybody gets the same information. So now I will share the screen. Okay. Do you see it in the full screen? Hopefully.
We do.
All right. So we have been really lucky to get this funding from Erasmus Plus program, which allowed us to work with competitions and kind of explore the different ways how ideas can be sourced. And focus of this project will be the partnership between Tandeems and Vares.Space. We will tell a little bit about ourselves in a bit. But generally, the main quest for all this is the exploration of how can youth be involved in the planning process of the urban environment, and in what positions can they be, how can they benefit from this process, and how can they give some kind of unique insights about the places that they use and the ways they see the city. So first, that's us, it's Tandeems. And since 2022, which is last year, we have already organized the 6 idea competitions. And in our competitions, we are doing something a bit different between than the normal way, how it would happen. We often include some kind of workshops, tours, and different ways of user involvement. And in addition to that, we are also developing the digital tool for submissions, voting, and to ensure the anonymity for the participants. And the main ambition, of course, is transparency and democratic process for user involvement, and also for urban planning, exploring new ways how it can be done. This is Vares.Space. So looks like mic is off for.
Hello. Yeah, I looks like Mari is freezing because she was supposed to talk about our project, but then I guess I will do it myself because she's frozen. So my name is Merilin, and together with Mari, we represent Vares. So Vares stands for Valga Architecture Residency, and we're also a project organized by Estonian Society for Young Architecture. And with Vares, our main goal is to provide a place and stipendiums for architects, artists, interior designers, urbanists, and other spatial practitioners, so that they can focus on their personal, experimental, creative, and research projects. And the Vares is run by 5 people, so there's like 3 more people beside us. We are all architects and heritage protection specialists, and we are interested in finding ways to practice slow architecture, to critically rethink the discipline, gather and repurpose used materials, and also we deal with spatial innovation and experiments with everyday life. So, and like some of our previous projects that we have organized are, for example, European Architecture Students Assembly in Valga in 2020, and Garage 49 gallery and project space in Tallinn, which we curated the program for. Yeah, that's all.
I think you also should mention the place in Valga, the architecture.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Vares stands for Valga Architecture Residency, so it's based in Valga.
So we have been extremely lucky with this. Yeah, that's a perfectly lucky for us to find a collaboration between the two capitals of Latvia and Estonia. So between Riga and Valga, and Tallinn, Valga is precisely midway. So it's very easy for us to find a location to meet exactly on the border, which is a nice way for partnership. But for the last 3 months since we started this project, we have been going over a very extensive process of planning this, because this has not been easy. There are many stakeholders involved. So we are trying to work with real problems. So our first task was actually to define some kind of situations together with municipalities. We have been trying to communicate with education institutions to see if they are interested in participation. And over this process, of course, we have also there has been a necessity to talk about many legislation kind of questions and organizational things. How is it even possible to make it happen? Generally, we've been interviewing many municipalities because the main ambition was to find problems that are diverse and complicated enough to explore the youth involvement process. And we are looking for some kind of new perspectives, how it can be used. And the general ambition was to find problems that are complicated enough so that they could not be solved with simply single stage competition or a tender. So mostly the problems have been related to either some kind of special location or a situation or materials that are needed to be recycled. So this is the selection of the competitions that we have found. Each one of them consists of multiple events, how we will explore it. So the municipalities are Talsi, it's about recycled materials. Linhal in Tallinn, which is about modernist architecture heritage, unused building. Garage, which is Cesis, it's typology. Urban streams, which is more related to the nature, water flows, and also more social kind of topic about art in the city in Adaži and Ropaži, which will be a collaboration between two municipalities. I will try to briefly explain the process, how it's going to happen. So generally, those will be 4 steps, how we do it. Each of those topics will first be kind of explored by us and by an expert and through a communication with the municipality to arrive to some kind of problem statement, which is the main situation that we are exploring. For each of the events, each of the cities, we will invite an expert who will give his insight or her insight about the experience of, say, recycled materials or heritage or street art. So in the first step, we are defining all this process, getting this expert insight, but the project really is about the youth and the way how they can participate in this. So we are trying to tackle different kind of, say, different types of youth, because some of them are, well, some people, today it's considered that youth is up to 30 years age. So some of them are high school students, some of them are already professionals who are practicing. So we kind of try to diversify this group by doing each of the steps for a different kind of skill level. So step number 2 will be digital workshop, in which we are going to explore the problem as such, and we will try to gain the knowledge about the problem, and this will be some kind of a task that we will create for schools, art schools, vocational education, for them to integrate as half-day tasks in their curriculum. Next stage is exploring the local situation. So each of the projects is somehow related to a particular situation within a municipality or a place. So alongside the exploration of the problem, we also want to explore the place and get this kind of knowledge about the particular situation through the prism of the youth. And this all results in the competition. So the way we want to engage the youth in this kind of urban involvement, we don't want them simply to generate some ideas. We are creating this kind of a process where through these workshops we will also be creating the brief for the competition. So they are important stakeholders in writing the task for the following competition. All the competitions are mostly oriented towards people who are already exploring the field. They have some knowledge. They can individually or in groups generate visual material, present their ideas clearly. However, all the competitions, and actually all of the events, of course, they are free of charge, and they are open to anyone who wants to participate. So the target group is youth. However, it's not limited. And following the competitions, which are mostly going to be time limited, so it's going to be like 4 days to submit 3 images and a text. We are going to collect all these designs. Everything is going to be published online, and following that, it's going to also be the component of jury, so to say. So the participants get the feedback, and we also kind of select the best works who are going to receive money prizes. And in the jury, we're also kind of including the previous workshop participants, because through the workshop, they already will have gained some kind of knowledge and education about the problem. So for us, it's a bit of experiment. How will this work? But we believe that actually after the workshop, they are very knowledgeable about the particular situation, to kind of comment and I don't know, rank it. Okay, and following this, now Kaspars is going to tell a little bit about less organizational part. As I previously said, the project consists about, there's this planning stage, but there's also digital component, which is hosting all of this process.
Hey, I'm going to share my screen for a moment, and I'm going to take it away from Carlos. The screen should be shared right now. Hi, I'm Kaspars. I'm the technical person behind all of this, and like behind the entire digital tool, alongside Baiba. And so ostensibly, for example, if you wanted to conduct a competition, it would look much like this. So we have this dashboard with all of the information. Over there, there's a description, there's all of the materials, including the rules.
Maybe it's just me, but we don't see the screen.
Oh, you do not, because it tells me that I'm sharing it. 1 second.
No, sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize. Google does. Do you see it now?
Yes.
Amazing. So you have a competition. It is a square on the Tandeems homepage. And here's all of the information, like a description of what you have to do, organizational stuff for the participants, and you can also submit any kinds of attachments, for example, models, materials, guidelines, and etc. Once this competition is over, this is what you get. You have a list of all the submissions. This is from the Elizabeth's 2073 competition with the winners and the participants. And you can check out all of the different things they have submitted, zoom in, and you have all of the text, and the winners are also, their names are revealed. From the participant side, it kind of looks like this. So you write down the name of the submission for this particular competition, you enter a description, and the picture is quite easy. So you submit it, you press Isniegt, and you will have a big blue screen that says that you've succeeded. Once that's happened, it appears over there in the submissions, the submissions dashboard. And additionally, for the voting, so there's another feature where you can submit exactly 3 votes for any submission that's been entered, which kind of allows it to create this evenly disparaged votes for all of the competition submissions. So it saves the votes. And for example, from the production situation, so these 3 were the winners in terms of the online votes. Those are, in this particular case, it was anonymous, but we're currently working on a jury voting system where you can write down a comment and give more intricate evaluations. And this nākotnes vertikālai dārzi was from the viewers' favorite from the in-person event that we were running. I think you can take it back from here, Carlos. That's the technical part of all of this.
All right. Am I sharing?
Indeed, you are.
Amazing. Okay. Maybe one last thing to also mention regarding the digital tool. It's so far we have been mostly using it for the competition submissions, but we will be using it also in the workshops, and we will also be using it's not only used on say on a screen or a laptop. It's integrated also on mobile devices. For example, if you go on a tour, you can take photos with it and submit it instantly. So we will explain how it works in every single particular event. But now we will go over the 5 topics that we have selected, and they're quite diverse. So to go here, the first one, which is going to start in January, it's gonna be in Talsi municipality, and the challenge is such that well, building industry produces a lot of waste, and everybody knows about the bricks, concrete, and all these kind of building materials. But this time it was quite interesting because the municipality has decided to kind of reduce the carbon footprint and CO2. They're going to remove or replace the existing lamps with LED. So it's going to be some kind of maintenance, and we are kind of exploring what is going to happen with this kind of very particular type of waste, which is a head of a lamp, which consists of many different materials. It's generally composite material, and if you think about the quantity, I think it can produce very interesting things. So looking back at the previous diagram that I told about the 4 steps, so here we are already going in a bit more detail how we exactly going to do it here. So the first thing that's going to happen is going to be event launch. This is planned, I think it's 12th of January. So we will start with a lecture by Charlie. She is a designer working in Netherlands, and she's making furniture combining rubble, like waste from building industry, together with textile. And she has done many very exciting research projects. So she's going to be kind of expert with us and also help us defining the following workshops for the digital workshop and local workshop. For the digital workshop, what we want to explore is what does the lamp consist of. So it's a composite material. We know there's metal, glass, and there's some geometry, but I don't think that many of us have ever held one such lamp in our own hands. So what we are going to do, we will get approximately 7 of these lamps and send them to 7 different education institutions, which we have not selected yet. So if somebody is interested, please apply. We can deliver a lamp. So it's going to be exploration of the lamp, taking it apart, and we will also craft some kind of challenge or task. So it's both a little bit like a competition, a workshop, but also educational. So this is the knowledge about the material. And then there's also going to be the knowledge about the situation. we will be organizing some kind of a seminar in Talsi, where we will get representatives from 20 different locations, and together with them we will make ideation session, selecting the best locations that need some kind of improvement, keeping in mind the fact that the material that we have is a head of a lamp. So coming from this, we will get some kind of research of the material. We will select location, potentially also a program, and this will form a competition. So it's also important to note that it is possible to take part in all of the events, but generally that's not even the point. So here we are looking at more like, I don't know, high school, art schools. This is the local, and this is already like university people who can work with all this gathered information and come up with original designs. So the next one is Tallinn.
Yeah, so the second competition focuses on Tallinn City Hall, also known as Linnahall. And it was built in 1980 as a massive concert hall and sports venue that has a 5,000 seat amphitheater and 3,000 seat ice hall. This building can be considered one of the most impressive architectural landmarks in Estonia. We can say that it looks ancient and futuristic at the same time, but also it has proven to be quite a difficult piece of heritage to deal with in the present. So Linnahall closed its doors to the public almost 15 years ago due to bad construction quality and lack of care. And since then, there have been many attempts to repurpose it, but so far they have all ended in nothing. However, the vast roofscapes of the building have remained open all this time, and many people value it for its calm and non-curated atmosphere, which contrasts with the pragmatic cityscapes around. But the problem is that the building cannot stay untouched forever because it is decaying, and at one point the decay might become irreversible. So some kind of intervention has to be made. And recently, again, it has become a very controversial topic, as the city of Tallinn is determined to make a decision about its future finally. So, and inspired by this current situation, the competition aims to get insight from the youth to explore the possible futures of Linnahall and expand imagination on how this building could be repurposed. And so for the event launch, we are planning a lecture. We haven't confirmed the lecturer yet, but we hope that it will touch upon some case studies in about similar objects and similar situations. For the digital workshop, or at least like one part of it, could be creating an archive of Linnahall, because there have been many visions and studies about the building throughout the years. And we would like to collect all of these ideas and visions and studies and articles about Linnahall in one place so that people could explore it and kind of like learn about the subject. And for the local workshop, one thing that we are planning is tour or expedition in the building. And then finally, the competition itself, it will be open to all architects, architecture students, also artists and other people who have some visions in mind about the possible futures of Linnahall. That's all.
Okay, so the third one, which is going to happen in March, it's called Future of Garage. And garage is a very interesting typology which arrived in the second part of 20th century. It's also some sort of a Soviet heritage. But what is very interesting about this typology is that it's not really clear. Are those the cars who got more robust, or is it actually this kind of lifestyle of cooperative which has taken over? Either way, it's scarcely seen when the cars are stored there. Mostly they are used for anything else. And for us, it's very interesting to explore what is the future of this kind of typology, which you can find in almost any city in Latvia and Estonia. We will be looking at particularly these ones, which are in Cēsis in Raņa 20, I think, which is quite unusual garage because it's using very special materials. And it's also one of the things that we'll be exploring further away in the competition. So we will have a launch of the event with Margus from Vares.Space. Probably, as you heard already, our colleagues mentioned that in Tallinn they have been doing workshops in garages, and they are one of the many passionate garage users. Many of really great architecture and design events in Tallinn have happened in the garage, and they will give a lecture about their experience using garage and also the topology as such. Here you can see also a screenshot from Neighborgis documentary movie about garages in Latvia, which is actually documenting and exploring this lifestyle of what is actually happening in these places. Following that, we will also have a digital workshop. And as I mentioned, you can find this kind of topology of garages in nearly any city. So we will kind of develop some tasks that can be executed in many cities simultaneously with ambition to explore the local garage and also imagine how is it used now and how can it be used later, because through the prism of youth, I mean, it's very interesting to see how do they see such a space, because at least my personal experience with garage mostly is through movies or some kind of animation movies where there's a crazy science happening in garage, or some kind of a workout studios or whatever. So it's interesting to see this youth perspective because they probably have never seen a car in the garage. The second part is local workshop. We will try to organize a tour in Cēsis where we will try to gain access in the garage and see what's happening in behind these doors. And coming from this, getting all this insight about these different topologies in different places, and also getting this kind of local context, these two components together will form the brief for the competition. For which we don't know the task yet, but we know the location, which is Raņa, apparently 13 and 20. Yes, and this is going to happen in March.
Medellin, you are on mute. Somehow you are still on mute.
Okay, can you hear me now? Sorry.
Yes, now we can.
Okay. Yeah, in April, the competition will take place in Valga, and the main topic will be urban streams. There is a quite vast network of natural streams or tiny rivers in Valga, but at the moment, their presence is quite humble. Most of these streams flow into the Pedali River, and they are also important part of the town's rainwater management system already, but this potential could be explored further since there are still some areas where flooding can be a problem at times. And together with the practical ecological side of the streams, we also want to explore the fun aspects of the streams, to pronounce their presence visually and experientially in the town, and imagine how people could engage with them and how they could become an attraction and maybe part of Valga's broader identity. So for the event launch, we are planning a lecture by maybe about the ecology of the streams. The digital workshop might be actually a reading group that explores the mythological and folk layer of streams, as they are present in many stories and fairy tales. And we will try to maybe draw some ideas from there. And the local workshop will be an expedition that follows the streams of Valga. And then the competition will be about exploring the potential of urban streams and how they could become part of Valga's identity.
Okay, and so this is going to be the last one. I hope we will get there by May. So this one is kind of a special one because it's a collaboration between two municipalities. It so happened that we could not decide on the fifth candidate, and it happened that two municipalities next to each other proposed some kind of a very similar topics, and we had a meeting together and decided that hey, we should join and make some kind of a mega event about street art. So it is very interesting to think about the topic of a street art because the youth, this is maybe one of the topics where you will see that you see totally different than people in municipality or elder people. And I think the biggest goal of this one is actually to raise the discussion, to get the people communicating of different age groups and talk about what kind of art is good, what is bad, where it should happen, and to get out of, actually the ambition would be to get out of this stereotype of good art and bad art, but to get some kind of more meaningful discussion and talk not only about what is the right body part to draw on the wall, but actually talk about where it should be drawn, how it should be drawn, and what's the process. So for the event launch, we will ask for a lecture. Dainis Rudens, who is a street artist, maybe someone else. We have not confirmed it on 100%. However, we will have an expert who is doing it professionally and practicing it around Latvia, and the person will be telling us about his experience of also the first steps, how they started with the street art, and also where is it now. Dines, for example, has recently finished this kind of huge installation where he remade a water tower for a climbing facility. The second part for the workshop will be happening mostly focusing on the youth from Ropeža and Anaži. We will try to seek out good locations that are suitable for street art. And we want to get away from this idea that it's just a wall. You need a blank wall. We really want to think about more special places, like places under the bridge, or maybe it's a building, maybe it's some interior, or maybe it's just a surface of the street. So we will be talking about what is the meaning of location when you are looking for a place for street art. The third one is going to be a local workshop. This is kind of a special one as well, because concept for it is going to be a time capsule. What we have planned at the moment is that in Adar there's one particular building which is planned for renovation. As you know, all buildings need to be insulated, so it's going to be cladded in foam or some kind of insulant, and it's going to be wrapped. So before this process starts, we will get access to the whole building, all the walls, all the interior, all the surfaces, and it's going to be painted in a workshop together with the local youth, where they can together with mentors, explore the process of painting in a safe environment without being worried to get arrested or attacked by somebody who's not happy about damaging the property. And coming from this to the competition, the most important part is probably that we will be getting the locations. Digital workshop will provide us with many locations which have a potential for street art. Probably we will select 4 or 5 of them, and then the competition participants will submit their ideas for these given locations. They can submit for one or say many. And following that, then also the jury will be selecting the best street art works, and probably that's the moment where the most heated debate will start, which we are already expecting, and it's going to be exciting. So looking at the timeline, the planned process looks very simple. We have just been preparing. Now we have digital tool, we have made the network, and we have planned all the events. And now, check. In 5 months, we will get to the June, and we will present everything. Sounds easy, but to be honest, it was more like that. Because we had to change the partners in October, and that's one of the reasons why we are slightly late in the project. However, we will manage to finish it by June by doing a competition in every single month, and every single month will consist of 4 events. We are extremely happy that Vares.Space has joined us, because they have great expertise in design, and they also have experience in working with workshops, design, and youth, and we believe it's going to be really fruitful. And that's it. If anyone has any questions, please, this is the moment.
Okay, it sounds like the presentation was a resounding success, or no one understood anything. I think that's what lecturers usually say. But okay, when you think about it, if you go over the technical details, like the process of everything, the outcomes, if everything is clear, or there's something like broad you want to ask, then this is a good time. And if not, Carlos and I, and as well as Vares, we are going to be alive, and you can ask us privately as well if you'd like.